All right, we are live. Eddie, welcome to the Michael Ouzas podcast. Today we're welcoming Eddie Lack. Played through the ranks in homeland of Sweden before almost a decade in the NHL, AHL, which is pretty awesome. And now a luxury broker out in Arizona. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to switch my internet because you were cutting in and out there, but I think
Oh,
I
really?
but I think I
Okay.
a little bit better now. But yeah, thank you so much for having me.
It's okay. We got a little tech difficulties. We're all good. I think it'd be so cool to talk about your journey in hockey, and then obviously talk about what you're doing now. So let's maybe go back to the beginning a little bit. Where you're from in Sweden, and what it was like growing up there and playing hockey out there.
Yeah, so grew up in Norrtälje in Sweden. It's like this small town. Well, it's not that small, but it's 100,000 people that live there, and started playing hockey because Sweden won the Olympics in '94, and I was 6 years old, and
Cool.
Peter Forsberg made that move on Corey Hirsch, and Tommy Salo did like a sliding save in the shootout, and got Sweden the goals. That's kind of why I started playing, because I'm like, oh my god, this looks like so much fun. And just started playing when I was 1 year younger than everyone, and everyone kind of went through like the skating school and everything. So I was by far the worst skater, and when we started with goalies about a year later, that was kind of my way of fitting in. I felt like so. Started playing goalie, and moved to play for a really good team when I was 13. So I moved from Norrtälje to Stockholm with my dad, because we kind of saw an opportunity that I was doing pretty good in hockey, and like maybe this is something that I want to do. So just like moved and played with like a better team, because like with Norrtälje we like lost every game against the good teams, like 10, 15, not nothing, but I got a lot of shots on me, which was good. And yeah, moved and worked my way up the ranks there and everything until I got traded to Vancouver and got to play over here.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you played through Sweden. And you're in which team? Firestad.
No, so my first pro team was Leksand
Oh, Leksand.
in Sweden. My first ever goalie partner in the pro game was Ed Belfour.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I was 17 years old, and he's like 43, right? And it's his last year.
What was that
uh,
like?
we had a ton of fun together. I mean, obviously, like so cool, and to be able to like play with with a legend like that. And like, I was always like, I always wanted the net, right? But then with him, I obviously wasn't going to play that much. So, but just kind of tried to take in as much as I like could, and like learn from him.
Was he open to sharing at that time in his career? Was
Yeah,
he like? Was he pretty? We always hear he's an intense guy. Is that like? Was that
yeah.
true?
Oh yeah. Like, but he was really chill with me, I felt like, and uh, he was really intense with the equipment guy, because he brought his own like skate sharpener and everything, and like no one could touch his skates, like but him. and
Wow.
and for every game, like he had like 8 9 different blades that he tried out before the game and everything. I mean, it was crazy, but just like a true perfectionist, and like love the game of hockey, love to hang out with the boys and everything, and yeah, yeah, we had a lot of fun together.
That's so cool. What a person to learn from. I mean, I
Yeah.
just I
Oh
pulled up
yeah.
your elite prospects. Maybe I should have done that before when I asked you what team you played for. But then you went on to play like under 18s and then under 20s. So that must have been in and around that kind of time. Like, and obviously if he's on your team, I'm sure that's a pretty solid mentor for you at the time. He just was out of the NHL. And then you're drafted and head over to Vancouver.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One more fun at Belfort story. Uh, his first game, like it was obviously sold out in the rink, and everyone was so excited to have him there, etc. Right, and he let in the first shot on that, and like the whole rink just went dead quiet. Like I've never heard like 7, 8,000 people be that quiet.
Wow.
Like it was so quiet in there. And then from the first shot, he broke the record in the league for most minutes without a goal.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
incredible. That must have been pretty cool to watch, like just how he bounced back from that. That's really funny. Did he say anything
yeah,
about that ever? Was he like, oh, this is just, or he didn't really just kind of went about his business? It was like, happens?
yeah, exactly. He just went about his business, but yeah. And then I got signed by the Canucks. I've only played like 1 year in the Swedish Elite League when they called, and like I was Jacob Markstrom's backup then on our team, and I didn't really expect anyone to like call, but Vancouver saw something in me and like called, and they're like, "Hey, you have like 12 hours to decide if you want to sign
Wow.
or not, because we have other guys on the list and everything." And I was like, okay, cool. Well, yeah, I'm either going to stay here and go over there, and I probably have to spend 2, 3 years in the minors no matter what, right? So I might as well just like start the journey now. And yeah, played 1 year in Winnipeg before they got their NHL team, and then we all moved to Chicago Wolves. Played there for 2 years. Met my wife, and then I got called up when Corey Schneider got traded that summer. So yeah, pretty
Wow.
cool.
What a journey. I mean, I'm looking here 53 games, first year over 53 games, 926 save percentage. What a start
Yeah.
to your minor league career in the American League. Did you find it was a big jump or a big difference in the hockey going from where you were to the AHL?
I don't know. Everything was kind of just like flowing at that time. I felt like, because like when I think back at it now, like when you're in it yourself, you're like, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna be here because I'm good enough to be here. But like when I went into that first rookie camp and training camp, like they probably had me slotted for the ECHL, I think, and then I just went in and I had like a really good rookie camp first, and it's translated to the main camp where I had like a really good main camp, and I was the last goalie to like leave. So that's when I kind of knew that I had like a really good shot at being the guy in Winnipeg and stuff like too, right? So um, went there and just like really loved the organization and like the players there. Like when everyone talks to me about their minor league experience, like that's not the minor league experience that I had, because both teams that I was on, they wanted to win, right? Like, and the Moose got like signed their own players every year that wasn't on the NHL deals and everything, but these were like really good AHL players, right? And uh, they just really wanted to win. And when I came to Chicago, I mean, it was the same thing there. I mean, like um, we had like Darren Hadar and like Brett Sterling and those guys, that put up 80, 90, 100 points every single year in the A, right? So I was just like fortunate to be in those teams that wanted to win, and they really took care of us too with like the travel schedule and like flying it everywhere and not bussing everywhere and everything, right? So just like really fortunate with my minor league experience, I felt like.
Yeah, that sounds pretty amazing, and obviously Chicago is a really good place to play. And so you were there 2 years, and then Vancouver came calling, and you kind of never really looked back. What was that like? Making that jump up there, um, and kind of I mean, just your process of once you went from that American League to the NHL, and then it was basically NHL from then on.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I said before. Like when you're in it, you always think that you belong there, right, and everything. But taking the step from the AHL to the NHL, I mean, it's a big step. But I was also fortunate to like come to a team with a lot of veteran players and like and like same an organization that like still wanted to win, because we were at the tail end of that like Sedin Luongo generation and everything, right? And we hired Torts, and we still thought that like we have a couple more shots at it, right? So just to be in that room and just learn from those guys like Luongo, Sedins, Bieksa, Kessler, Malholtra, Dan Hamhuis, Alex Burrows. I mean, it was a really good first place to play. I felt like, and yeah, I like learned a lot from those guys.
Yeah, it's really cool, and obviously some of the best goalies to ever play ever, right? Like, which is
Yeah,
really awesome. What did
yeah.
you learn from? I mean, you've played with obviously some great goalies. What did you learn from these guys, or anything that stood out to you that maybe you weren't expecting, or
So Lou kind of taught me how to be a pro. I felt like when I was in the minors, it was kind of like the Eddie Lack show at times. I felt like because I have so much energy all the time, and I'm everywhere, and I'm young, and then when you get called up to like the big boys, you kind of have to slow yourself down a little bit and show those guys the respect, right? And Luke kind of taught me that, I felt like, and then like our game was so similar to like we had Rolly Melanson, the goalie coach, and like he really just wanted both of us to just play in the paint, play a little bit deeper in our nets, and buy us a little bit more time to get to places. And me as like a young guy, just like seeing him work work the way that I wanted to work and everything. I mean, it was great. And yeah, like when I think back at it, I mean, I was just lucky with my goalie partners. I felt like, I mean, I had Lou, I had Corey Schneider, Ryan Miller, um, Cam Ward, right? Mike Smith. So yeah, just like fortunate enough to take like a little bit each from those guys. I felt like.
yeah, it's so cool. Some of the best goalies to ever play, basically, is
Yep.
pretty
Yeah.
awesome. And you're right there with them. Like when you're in practice again, like other end of these guys, like, were you ever just like, all right, I'm here, like, I'm at this level, like you said, you're in it, you feel like you're there, and then down the ice, like Luongo's like a Hall of Famer down the ice. Like,
Yeah.
is there ever any moments where you're just like, wow, this is like, there's like a Hall of Famer on the other side of the ice, or just kind of like you're just in it and just rolling?
The biggest like welcome to the league moment I think I had was like my first rookie camp, and the rookie camp ended, and then for main camp it's only like a few of the rookies that stay. So I like stayed, and then I had a roommate for rookie camp, but then he left, so I was gonna get a new one for the main camp because we were all in Penticton, and I went down to like the front desk to just like see who I would get, and like Lou was the guy that I was gonna be with for 5 days, and I just called all my friends back home, and I'm like, hey, Luongo's gonna be my roommate, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so like starstruck and everything. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep. Like this is cool. So yeah,
That's pretty awesome. You didn't want to just be like, oh, I'll just give him his room and we'll just go sleep in like the hotel lobby or something for
no,
the
no,
week.
exactly. Yeah. But like yeah, he was just super cool with me. He bought me breakfast every morning. Like it was great.
Nice.
Like yeah,
That's so cool. I love that. That they're obviously seems like they were great guys and obviously willing to help you out along the way, which is really cool.
yeah.
Um, then you finished up in Jersey. What was the difference like going from like you were in Vancouver, then Carolina, Jersey? Like what was the difference between them and a stop in Calgary too? Like, did you have a favorite of all of them?
Yeah, Vancouver was my favorite place to play by far. I felt like just the way that they take care of their players, and like the rank is unbelievable. Like we practice every practice, but maybe five each year in Rogers Arena and everything. So just like that was my favorite place to play, and I love the city and like the teammates and everything. Like that was kind of a hard transition for me. I felt like when I went from there to Carolina, because like it almost felt like I went back to the AHL again, and that was the old owner in Carolina, and I think that they have like a lot better setup and everything like now. But then I mean, like you go from like not not having to think about anything in Vancouver, and like there's always food in the locker room, there's always like snacks and everything, to Carolina, where like we didn't really have anything, right? So that was a big adjustment. Like Calgary, I felt like was good at taking care of their players too, but like the rink there is so old, like they
Maybe they'll
really
get a
need.
new one. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jersey was fun. My body was just too beat up at that time. I felt like, and they have a good setup there in Jersey, because like they have the game rink and the practice rink in the same building.
Nice.
So like it's you always have your gear and everything in one spot, which is nice. So yeah,
Yeah, that's sweet. I remember you always wore the Brian's gear. I remember the devil setup was pretty cool. You had the
it was
like
sweet.
that was a cool, really nice
Sweet, I love that
design.
one. Yeah.
Why'd you wear Brian's? I always like asking guys like, why Brian's or
What do you wear?
I was Vaughn growing
Yeah,
up, but then my last probably 3 4 years I switched over to Lefebvre, like they were CCM, and
yeah,
then into True.
yeah,
Um, yeah, the Vaughn stuff was just like it was becoming so mushy by the like halfway
yeah.
point, and we only got two sets a year over in Europe.
Yeah,
So it was like, yeah, I need something a little stronger at that point. But yeah, I'm always curious when guys wear Bryans because like they're not as I guess popular, especially in like Europe where teams have team deals with
yeah.
Bauer or CCM or whatever. So yeah, what brought you to Bryans?
So I grew up with CCM, and then my last year in Sweden, I had Bauer, because you have to wear what the team is wearing, right,
Yeah,
in Sweden, and then that summer we had a Bryant's rep in Sweden, and he's like, "Hey, just like try this gear at least, right?" And I'm like, "Okay, well." Like I'm probably gonna go back to CCM. I feel like, and then I tried the gear, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing! Like the glove feels so good, and everything. So I decided to go with Brian's, and like then I found out about like the designs, and you can make like your like whole own design and everything, and yeah, like my relationship with them throughout the years was just like amazing, and Chris Josviak, who used to be the rep there, like I loved Chris, and we just had like a really good relationship, and I think we had fun, like kind of brainstorming the new ideas and everything for every year. So yeah, it was fun.
that's the best. It's the best thing. That was the only thing that I hated. Like Vaughn was pretty creative, but going to
Yeah,
like CCM, they're pretty cut and dry of like just whatever
yeah.
you could do on the internet thing. No, that's awesome. Yeah, everyone who wears Brian's obviously loves them, and they're like I never wear anything else. But I never
Oh,
really feel like I never really tried them. If like I never really had the chance to try them, so I just and you know how it is in it, like especially for me in Europe, like I didn't want to take a risk of changing and then you're kind of stuck with
oh,
what you
exactly.
order, right? So for
Yeah,
you, it would
yeah.
have been a little bit different. You could have probably tried it and then just got something else the next day. But for us, a little bit
One
different.
year in Jersey, I think Corey Schneider had like five, six different brands of pads in his stall, and it was
Wow,
like, oh, what's Corey gonna play with today? I mean, like, yeah, crazy.
that's pretty cool. Did you? Was there any like? You said Balfour was pretty dialed in with his gear. Was anyone else like super dialed with their gear, or did you find guys were kind of in the middle, like not so much?
Ryan Miller was super picky with his gear.
I heard that on In Goal Mag, one of their
I mean,
interviews.
he like had like a direct number to Kay Whitmore to see like, hey, is this legal? Can I do this? Like, can I change that? Like one time we were in Toronto, and the CCM rep was there, and like the practice is done, and everyone's just kind of getting ready to get on the bus and everything, and like everyone is just waiting on Milsey because it's like a million things to go over with this rep. So like I ended up staying, and I think we like grabbed a taxi back, uh, but like he got this blocker delivered to him, and like it had the pattern and everything on it, right? Like with the graphic, but it was sticking up like this much from the actual blocker, and he felt like the puck was bouncing weird off of the the graphic. So he's like, we're gonna have to change this and everything. And I'm like, this is no difference. Like it's not bouncing weird. Like but he was so particular with everything. But I mean, that's also why he had the career that he had, I think. Like attention to details. So yeah.
That's really funny. Yeah, maybe it did help. I mean, it worked for him, so maybe that little 2 millimeters
Yep.
of stitching was now the digiprint stuff right on there.
Oh yeah.
There's no lip. It's pretty cool. You would have probably had. Would you have switched now to get digiprint or something like that?
It's just still like it looks better in my opinion, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. Let's change over to post career, a little bit different. So first of all, now you're out in Arizona.
Yeah.
What was the decision to go move out there versus like obviously didn't play there on any of these teams? Like why Arizona and then why real estate?
So my wife was kind of nagging me for a while about like we wanted a place in the U.S., but we didn't really know where to be and everything. And then I got traded from Calgary to Jersey in the middle of the season, but I only had like 3 months left on my deal, so we weren't gonna move all the furniture from there and to Jersey, right? So we felt like it was a good time to get a place and kind of like a home base here in the U.S. And I never spent any other time here. Like I had one rookie party in Old Town, and then we spent some time like in Glendale by the rink and everything. But I didn't really know anyone here. But my wife moved with me for like 6 years, so I figured that like when I retire, she gets to decide where we're gonna live. So she picked here, and we found a house that we really liked for FaceTime, and just bought it. She moved everything here because I was still in season, and then when we were out of the playoffs, then I came over here. So yeah, just I just wanted a place where I could golf, and that like it was good weather, and I felt good all the time, and so like it was really like only here, California, but I hate traffic and everything there, and or Florida, and I don't really like the hurricanes and like the humidity and everything. So we bought a house here, and I always kind of knew that I was gonna do real estate when I retire because like it's always something that I've been interested in, and I signed another 1 year with Jersey, but I got hurt about like Christmas, so had my surgery, and they were nice enough to send me back here for the rehab and everything. So we've been here about 5.5 years, and I got my real estate license while I was still on the crutches and everything. So yeah.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
First of all, you bought a place, you said on FaceTime without even
Yeah.
seeing it. You didn't even, so you didn't see it. So realtor took you through, or was it through a realtor or Zillow or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that? Through a realtor,
Yeah.
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 And then bought it without seeing it, played out your season, still hadn't seen it, and then moved there in the off season, and then went back and unfortunately injured, and then got your license.
Yeah.
So what's the licensing process like over there? Is it it's different every state, or how does that work?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's different in every state. In Arizona, it's really easy. I mean, it's not 90-hour course. They teach you how to get sued, but not how to sell. I always say,
Yeah.
and yeah, just got my license, and then yes, started selling in the beginning of 2020 when COVID happened. So my first showings was like with a mask and with gloves on in the middle of summer here. So, but we made it work.
That's really funny. I wasn't too far after you with 2021 with the masks and everything.
Yep.
It was an
Yeah.
interesting time, and then even actually the transition from mask to no mask was also a strange time.
Oh yeah.
Uh, when you started, how did you kind of get started? Were you on a team? Did you start on your own?
Uh, I just started my own kind of from the start, and like the brokers that I joined had like these like learning programs and everything that we had to go through, and yeah, just like kind of started building my social media and working through my network and everything, and like, yeah, I like think it took 6 months until I got my first deal, because like it takes a while in real estate. I mean, uh, people that like think that you're just gonna jump right into it. I mean, it takes a while to get going, and then I think I did like 12 or 15 million my first year, and then I just grew from there. So yeah.
That's an incredibly solid first year. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Even if it took you 6 months to get rolling. Did you find any lessons from hockey that translated over, especially as a goalie? Maybe routines or anything like that?
I felt like I still had that athlete mindset when I started this, and the more I've been doing it too, the more the more I know that the more you put into this, the more you're gonna get out. It's always gonna be like that, and um now I just try to kind of schedule my days just like I did in hockey, and um, I just like structure in my day, and that's kind of when I do the best, right? So um, when I don't have stuff to do, I like still like to schedule and structure things, because that's kind of when I feel my best. I feel like, yeah,
That's probably, I think, the hardest thing, especially going from like where the, we basically are scheduled humans for
made for us. Yeah,
20 years basically
yeah,
until you're done, and then it's like, okay, there's no schedule. It's like just go and sell real estate. But really the scheduling keeps things kind of moving, or a good
yep.
flow. um, when you're selling stuff out there, so I always watch on Instagram, you have some of the coolest properties. That one you did with the rink in the basement was unreal. I thought that was
Oh
really
yeah, it's
cool.
cool.
And Kanger, we played together in the OHL
Oh,
back
cool.
back like, I mean, to like 20 years ago now almost. So
Was he still an asshole then?
he was okay. But I saw him, he was taking some shootout stuff on you, which is really awesome. That's got to be one of the things out in Arizona. You guys have, like, I mean, it looks like you guys have some of the most unreal properties. Um, what about your journey to like get to that level of property? Like, did you start with those, or did that take some time to evolve?
No, I mean it kind of just like goes in waves. I feel like. I mean, I've pretty much sold anything. I mean, like my smallest sale this year is I think um, like 300,000. My biggest sale this year I think is 6 million. So like uh, it really just like um, goes up and down with those. I mean, I sold my biggest one to date. I think was like year two for me, and that was 12 million. And and I haven't been able to break it yet, but I'm hoping to get close. So, but but yeah, it's I don't really turn down business. Like I I just hired a partner for me here to like help out with some of the back end stuff and the showings and everything, so I can more focus on the client relationships and stuff, because that's what I like about it, and the developments and the investments and everything. Like those are the three things that I really like about real estate, and then I'm like gonna try to just um, delegate the stuff that I don't like.
That's the, I think, the best way to do it anyway.
Yeah.
and then that's where you'll focus your energy. You're mentioning investments. Of course, Arizona always pops up as one of the spots for Canadians to invest, and
Yeah.
we've discussed maybe in the future doing something kind of more educational, less podcast
Yeah.
style. But what is that like? Like the Airbnb thing or the short term rental thing? I know there's other websites as well. Do you guys or do you work in that space? Is that something that you
Yeah.
see pretty common from whether it's from Canadians buying in Arizona or even Americans?
Yeah, so I have three Airbnbs myself, and like I probably helped, I would say like 20 buy Airbnbs in the last few years here. So the issue is that the interest rate kind of screws us now, right? And uh, as a Canadian, especially, it's like tough to get a good rate right now. What we've been able to do is it's called a DSCR loan. So like the lender doesn't lend on the person; they lend on the property. So if the property prices and the income ratio to the mortgage is 1 for 1, they will accept you for it. So that's been the easiest way to get the Canadians, but the numbers don't make as much sense now as they did 2 years ago. But hopefully, the interest rates will drop here like soon, and we can get some good Airbnbs going. Because like I mean, 2 3 years ago, I mean, you were looking at like 20% return on your money, while like now it's like 8 9%, right? So just like a different product now, I feel like. And if you don't buy cash or self-manage or find some sort of seller finance, then I would probably just like wait for the interest rates to drop, I think.
Yeah, have you guys also seen has the pricing increased there in the last whatever 5 6 years, or has it been relatively steady all through kind of that COVID and everything like that?
5 years, everything is doubled, like at
Wow,
least. Yeah. Yeah.
wow, that's
So
so that doesn't help either with the interest rates and then
no, exactly.
piecing it
Like
together. Yeah.
you're paying a lot more for a house, and and obviously your monthly bills and everything is a lot more. Like where I've seen the investment be worth it, it's more with developments here. So like I have Canadians that are building 9 townhouses in Old Town here. So um, they've been taking some LP money, and then like I have clients that are doing the larger spec homes and everything themselves too. So that's kind of where I see it makes more sense right now. And there is a ton of money coming down from Canada right now, especially from Vancouver, because like they changed the Airbnb rules, so you're not allowed to Airbnb there, but also like the foreign buyers, and like now they're trying to add you guys with an extra capital gain tax, I think too. So it's a lot of big players are moving money down here because it makes more sense to invest here now.
Yeah, it's interesting. We usually here in Toronto, we usually follow Vancouver or BC
Yeah,
for that matter. So typically, whatever goes to BC and Vancouver, we usually get it whether it's 6 months down the line or a year down the
yeah,
road. But now our Airbnb rule here is has to be your primary residence and
yeah,
minimum rental of 28 days,
yeah,
which like really doesn't it defeats kind of the purpose of it. And if it's your primary, I guess maybe you can get and the max you could do per year actually is 180 days too. So that's like the other piece of it. So
yeah,
like it makes it quite challenging. Maybe if you have like a house and you do it in your basement, it could make sense. Like offset your
yeah,
own mortgage type of thing, but it's not as I had one or two as I was going, as I was playing, because that was the best way to
Yeah, yeah,
get
for
like
sure.
2 or 3 month rentals at a time, especially
Yeah,
in a prime area in Toronto. But then the buildings all started like not allowing them, had to go through the concierge. It was just like it didn't make sense anymore. And then eventually I just rented them either
yeah,
privately for 3 to 6 months, but couldn't be on the platform because now there's another tax too that the city's taking from like Airbnb collect. Like it's just a workaround. But anyway,
well,
I mean it's
yeah, and they put these rules in place because they wanted rent to drop too, and like rent has still gone up. So
yeah.
like it really has made zero difference.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
there was when they put the rule in there, we got a little bit of a kick of inventory, but maybe not as much as people thought. And then it's like anything, like there's not really a solution. Like the only solution is to
no.
build more property. That's basically it. Because
But it's
the
tough to build in Canada too. I
yeah
mean, it is really tough to get the permits and everything takes a long time, and that in my opinion, that's the biggest thing that they need to fix first is make it easier to get permits for these bigger developments and everything because like that's how you're gonna get new inventory on board. So yeah,
yeah,
it's
I agree
tough.
with that. We're doing a renovation now at the house to get like after I submitted drawings and just to get like a permit took me like 6 weeks to get an answer, and then it like goes down the line. It's like a two to three
Yeah,
3 month process just to get like a
yeah,
yes go ahead kind of thing. It wasn't like there was nothing to it, but yeah, I can't imagine these big time builders that are building major projects what
yeah,
that process looks like. Um, but yeah, it's a long time. No, this has been awesome. So great to
yeah.
like jump on here. I appreciate you taking the time today. And can you let everyone know where they can reach out to if they are looking for property either in Arizona or anywhere really in the States? I'm sure you have some really good referral networks down there as well. How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I have referral networks all over the US. The easiest way is either email Eddie at eddielack.com, Instagram eddielack31, and Twitter eddielack. So yeah,
Awesome.
my website is eddielack.com too. So yeah, it's easy.
Keeps it easy. Amazing. I'm gonna end this live here. Thank you for anyone that jumped on there. One sec.
Love it.